What's up, Turtle Club? Today I have the very first deck profile I'll be putting on the channel here. This one's going to be fun. It's kind of my own little homebrew thing. I think it's been feeling really good in testing. Also have some locals today I'll be going to tonight to test out even further. Hopefully get you guys some games on the channel showcasing the potential of this deck. We'll start with the main color here, and it's going to be white. Alright, so we'll have your 3 Zawarts. This is obviously a very good card, pretty good for a level 2 cost, pretty highly statted, 3/2, nice blocker ability here. The only thing with this is that it can't swing into bases, or the opponent rather, so you can only really utilize this to either maybe crash into a unit early on if you need to clear something, or just use it at its main focus, which is that blocker ability. Now this one's going to be a fun one. I don't know if this count is going to be the proper one I'm going to be utilizing, but we'll continue testing. This is the M1 Astray, or Astray. It says, while you have another triple ship alliance unit in play, this unit gains AP +1 and blocker. So it becomes a 3/2. This, much like the Zawart, is going to be a pretty decently statted card. Now you do have the stipulation where it has to have another triple ship alliance in play, but you play a decent bit of this. This is basically like a triple ship alliance white deck, essentially, with another color mixed in. But it becomes a 3/2. It's pretty good. You can attach a pilot to it, give it a little beefy power. You can swing, and then utilizing another card we're going to be going into, you can actually get a lot of value from it. We have your typical 3 Gundam Lifrith. It's a 2/4, level 3/2 cost. Pretty strong. I definitely wouldn't cut down on this card at all. The 4 is really good. You can actually block some cheaper bodies early on and then still have it live to basically get a nice double block off, so that's great. That's pretty standard though. This one is going to be one that's going to be kind of unconventional. I haven't really seen a lot of people play around with this card, but it's honestly one of my favorite cards in this deck and in the set so far. So it's Strike Rouge. For those of you who don't know what this card does, activate main once per turn. You can pay 1, choose one of your rested white units with blocker, set it as active. It can't attack during this turn. So you obviously want to play this down on going 3, level 3, so going with your 3rd energy there. You can swing, like let's say you have M1 Astray out, you can swing with Astray for a 3/2 directly at base. Clear base, pay 1 on Rouge, restand it, and then that becomes that double blocker. This also does have some utilization later on with some of your bigger cards because they are white blockers as well too. And so you can restand those cards after you get a solid swing out. There's also a way to make this a blocker by itself. So you can actually go ahead and swing with this and then restand the Rouge as well too. So I think this card is really underappreciated, and being able to just actually clear something and then not lose the value from your blocker is a great ability. So I definitely would, I'm going to keep 4 on there because you have to see it essentially. Continue on, we have 4 of the Ailstrike Gundam. This is pretty standard. It's from the starter deck 4. It's a blocker. When paired with the level 4 or higher pilot, which most of the pilots in this deck are, you choose one enemy unit with 4 or less HP and return it to its owner's hand. So it's good to clear something off the board that you really don't want to lose a guy into, or you don't want to try to worry about swinging into. But that's pretty standard. Ailstrike is very strong. Then we have 3 Freedom Gundam. This card is also very good. So it's a blocker. During pair once per turn, when you pair a pilot with this unit or one of your white units, so make sure it's a white unit, choose one enemy unit, it gets -2 AP during this turn. So you can attack, pair that with Kira. Obviously Kira, its effect I'll go into a little bit later, but it helps -AP. You get some good clears off. You don't have to worry about taking too much damage to your Gundams as well. So very, very strong. But the main card that I really do love, that I think is the most undervalued, is Justice Gundam, baby. We got 4 of these. I think this card is super strong. It's a 5/5, level 7, 5 cost. So same power or same amount of cost for the Freedom Gundam, but you're getting an extra AP while you're losing a little bit of the HP, which is fine because its effect is on deploy. So when you play this card, you deploy one Fathom Triple Ship Alliance AP2 HP2 blocker unit token. So when it gets played out, you instantly spawn a blocker, which is great. And then during pair attack, choose one of your Triple Ship Alliance unit tokens. It may attack on the turn it is deployed. That part doesn't really come up too much. Even when I was running Atherin Zala, I never really had enough like energy left to where I was like, okay, let's actually just go ahead and do that so I can have them both of them swing. Like later on, if it was maybe for game, that's fine. But most instances, I'm not going to end up doing that because I kind of want to keep that blocker up and then also utilize Justice Gundam next turn. But this card is so strong. Being able to do this again and again, like you can drop it when you hit 7 and then drop it next turn as well too, while still getting value from your Strike Rouges restanding. Because you really, when you drop this on 7 for 5 energy, you have 2 left. And I really don't want to be using that for a pilot to pair with this to attack. I'd rather get some value from the Strike Rouge. So I think this card is heavily slept on. There's a lot of like content creators or other players out there that are just like, I don't understand. But people at my locals agree that this card is really strong. I do run 4, so it's a pretty crazy top end with the 3 Freedom Gundams and 4 Justice Gundams. But sometimes when your hand is like nothing but these guys and you have enough energy to keep playing them, it's very, very strong. We'll go into the pilots. For white, we have 4 Kira. This is kind of a must. He attaches with the Freedom Gundam, he attaches with the Ale Strike Gundam, so they get a lot of value from them as well. Plus also his attack, or his pilot ability, his attack, choose one enemy unit, gets -2 AP during this battle. So it helps you clear boards, helps you clear pesky guys and not take damage yourself, which is pretty strong. So that's pretty nice. It's also a 2-1. It's a pretty good stat. He's the same stat as some of the other like basic pilots, so I really enjoy that. This is kind of the main, well, let's say one of the main pilots for the deck. We only run 12, so it's Kigali. So when she attaches, basically, so it's while this unit is white, it gains blocker. She's only a 1-1, nothing crazy, but like I said before, you can really utilize her for, since a lot of this is white, you can make things that aren't blockers into blockers. So we'll literally just take these two as the main focus here. So Strike Rouge, you can make this into a blocker, and since you pay 1 to choose one of your rested white units with blocker, you can literally early on, like going, you're like 4th charge basically, you can literally just attach Kigali to Strike Rouge, and then now you're able to restand Rouges a bunch, which is great. Or that turn where you don't want to really attach Zala, you can just attach Kigali, and now you have not only a blocker unit as a token, but you also have a big 6/6 as a blocker as well too, because this becomes a blocker with Kigali attached. So again, I'm not really trying to like worry about swinging because I want the value for the blockers. There's a lot of things right now that like, sure, they can clear some boards with like wing, but if they can't, they can't clear this. They cannot clear, they can clear your token. But if you don't have a blocker out to stop that big swing, it's just going to get constant value. So you can stop that block, and then you can also just play like another one next turn and keep it going. Then we have, obviously, these are some of your commands. We have 4 Overflowing Affection. This card is very strong. I definitely want 4 because you really want to keep this deck going, and once it kind of peters out, it definitely, you're just kind of top decking. Obviously some of your top decks can be pretty crazy and help you continue, but I'd rather just keep drawing cards and discarding what I don't want. I just added this in, but I feel like this is going to be a lot better than what I had before. I think I was running Naval Bombardment, which is good because it could +3 to some blockers and help you crash into bigger units, but I'd rather run this because it just spawns another blocker token, and that blocker can be an AP4 HP2, so to help you trade, or an AP2 HP4, and then that way if they drop like wing, it can't just be like easily KO'd, it still lives with 1 HP, and you can just block with it, which is pretty strong. So I like that. And then we have your next color. So we are going to be utilizing blue here. You may be thinking like, well, if you're playing blue-white, why not just go into like the whole like unicorn blocker package? But I really think that Strike Rouge is super underutilized. And again, being able to get constant, especially early on, getting constant value with restanding and having just open energy, because sometimes you really don't have anything to play, but this being able to use like a mana sink and just being able to restand something is strong. So later on, when you don't have enough cards, Show of Resolve is also just pretty broken. You just pay 3 and draw 2, so really, really nice. Since we're running blue, we have probably one of the best pilots in the game. We have Armor Array. This, I'll just kind of go right into what I'm running with Amuro. Nothing insanely powerful, but I run this Gundam because 1, he's a repair, 2, it's a good stat. When you pair it, you're that turn, every unit gets AP +1, so you can drop him a little late and kind of like pump the board. But also this is good early if you have the combo with him and Amuro, just being able to press something, swing at it, repair. You don't have to swing again, you repair again, and it's fully back to the 5/5 that it is. But Amuro is really nice because later on, when you don't have a way to clear those blockers, you can just pair this with anything, especially because you're spawning out tokens. And this guy can pair, pilots can pair with anything. So you just attach it to a token or whatever you want, and then you just rest a 5 or less, and then you can either swing into it with something, or you can, like, if that's the only blocker, you know, keeping you from going for game, basically, you can just start swinging directly. So really strong. It's a 2/1, so like it can make Justice like a 7/6, it can make Freedom a 6/7, so there's a lot of really good utilization for them. And then we'll just go into our bases. We just have 2 of the white base, probably better than, at least in this deck, better than the other Corsica base that is out there. I know that one spawns a token for free, or either 2 tokens if you already have it in the drop, but I'd rather just use this because, like I said, later on sometimes there's a lot of energy that you have left to where I can just actually pay that to spawn out some guys. And then we have the Archangel. This one's really strong as well too, because if you don't have the Strike Rouge out, you can actually just pay 2 for this to restand it. So it's basically the same thing, but just not a body on board that can, you know, maybe get rested or cleared or whatever. Obviously, it's only 5, so they can swing into it. But if you didn't have the other one, this one works just as well. So, but yeah, that is the deck. Let me know what you guys think. I think this combo here, this is probably your perfect hand, just having a Stray out and then having Rouge, and then also having like a Kigali as well too, because like I said, you can attach Kigali to Rouge, and then not only will it be able to swing that turn if you wanted to wait another one, but just being able to make this a blocker by itself is pretty dang strong, and this is a strong card by itself. So yeah, it's fun. I really enjoyed the restanding. It catches a lot of people off guard. They're like, oh, I didn't even know like that's how that card worked. And you just get a lot of value. I think cards that spawn things for free are pretty strong. And a lot of people like the draws from like Banager for blue, but that's why I'm able to just run the Overflowing Affection and the Show of Resolve and be totally fine with those draws there, because the rest of the bodies on board will get enough value to where it'll just not matter, where I have to draw so many cards constantly, because eventually I will see these, and this I'm not playing until later anyways, so I'm just utilizing my entire hand, clearing things, you know, resting things with Amuro, minusing AP with Kira, so I'm really getting a lot of value out of these, and then I can just use these late when I need to. So yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.